What's good, y'all? It's 143 of the Who Fanatic Podcast. I am your host, Ty J, with my mans.
Juan, what's poppin'? I'm nobody else today because I'm sad. Rondo's back.
And I got also my mans right here.
Champagne Stoppy is in the building once again. I don't have too many elaborative names, but why not?
Why not?
Why not, I guess.
To the Clips.
Donatello's the starting point guard, dude.
All right.
Hopefully it doesn't remain.
Huge shout out, Heart of the City. And, I mean, not really too much to say right now. We're kind of like, we're all just...
Shocked.
Yeah, everyone's
Still
pretty shocked.
kind of shocked, right?
Still trying to figure out what happened.
How?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like getting, I mean, for lack of a better comparison, getting drunk and blacking out and wondering what happened.
Like last night.
Yeah.
It happened to somebody.
Yeah.
Sources say.
Crazy.
Nobody predicted what is taking place.
Yeah. And
not in this fashion at all.
And for those of you that are wondering what exactly we're referring to
Still
right
shook.
now, we are referring to our first topic of the day, which is Kawhi decides to sign with the Clippers.
Only because.
Who also make the trade to get Paul George from the Oklahoma City Thunder and pair them in Los Angeles across the way from the Lakers. After we talk about this topic, we're going to talk about the Lakers executing Plan B, as they kind of had no choice, obviously. So yeah, why waste any more time?
I'm shook.
Shooketh.
Shook's an understatement, I think, because everyone had it all figured out, and right when you thought you had it figured out, there goes the good old swoop-de-swoop. And nobody even knew about Paul George requesting a trade. Not a single soul in this world knew that Paul George requested a trade. Nobody even... Now, like, if you would have knew these things about Paul George, you maybe would have warmed up to the idea that
you would have been like, oh, it's possible.
Exactly. But nobody... I'm getting chills talking about it. Nobody knew that this was even a possibility. Paul George requested a trade. Kawhi Leonard switched his meeting spot with the Lakers, right?
And he met with him the same day.
Right afterwards, he meets with Paul George.
Yeah. They
basically they give Paul George his request right away.
Yeah.
They give him the option.
And also, they also switched up the location of his meeting with the Clippers. They said that it was going to be over dinner and ended up being at Doc Rivers' house.
Wouldn't you think like something like that's a lot more private? It's good to do rather than be out somewhere. I like the idea of meeting at someone's house rather.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you go out to dinner, you got ears and eyes everywhere.
They're all filthy rich, so you're gonna get the same food regardless. You can bring that food to you. So if it was me, honestly, I've never seen a more secretive. Just everything that happened, I still couldn't. I fell asleep at 11 o'clock, so I fell asleep when it happened. And
I woke up when it happened.
Juan wakes when it happens. He texts saying, "Wait, Tyler thinks I'm at the gym, but I'm knocked out watching Stranger Things." And Juan says, "Wait till he wakes up to this one." And I can't explain because I woke up at 5 a.m. and I stayed up for an hour and a half afterwards trying to figure out what exactly happened.
Yeah.
But I was telling Juan that my timeline was so full I couldn't make it back to
what actually happened.
Yes. So I was looking for a long time. Like, you guys didn't really elaborate to say this is what happened. And I'm like, something crazy had to happen. And the ESPN update, like my updates on my phone were so backlogged that the ESPN update for it to happen was probably right at the bottom.
Right.
So I had no idea.
Yeah. For me, it was the opposite. It was the opposite.
You found it right away.
When I found out the news, I went to sleep. I was like, yeah, no, I'm good.
I stayed up from 5 a.m. to about 6:30.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how this happened.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, this really just happened? Yeah, I'm done with today. Time to end today. Start again tomorrow. Hopefully, when I wake up tomorrow, something got rescinded or somebody decided not to go through with it.
What is it? It's how many first round picks? 4 or 5?
5.
It's a record setter.
And 2 swaps.
But I think that, but it's three of them are theirs and 2 are from the Heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jerry West.
That's more interesting, right?
West.
2 from the Heat. That 2 from the Heat could be solid picks, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Depending on what happens here in the next coming days, because obviously I don't think maybe the Heat aren't done. They're gonna try to do what they can.
Yeah.
So I mean they need to,
They're
but
gonna try to get Westbrook.
Woj broke that story. He actually broke the whole story of the one that I sent you guys. And like I said, I can't even. I don't have too many words for this.
It's very wild.
It's probably the biggest shocker I've ever witnessed in my life.
Well, let's think about this. Let's start off here. What are your exact thoughts about Paul George, making that move? You know what I mean?
I think
for him to sign with OKC, sign the extension last off season to stay paired up with Russell. And go through the ins and outs with
specifically have buyer's remorse.
Exactly. That's what he said too. That's exactly what he said. And
which is crazy.
Granted, at the time, we were
all of us called it.
You
just went back for just because you felt like it.
Yeah. But I mean, then
forced.
Once he gets an inch of, and I cannot believe it happened. So it seems like it happened fast. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It only takes 1 week for you to request a trade and you're out like that.
Yeah.
That's what
right.
Presti's
also, Sam Presti's overrated now. He traded how many franchise players now?
At this point.
3
I think he's over it.
He lost 3 superstars in 6 years.
I think he's over it, though.
It seems
they're
he
not,
is now.
He put them in position. You can't blame him. I was having this conversation earlier.
That's a cheap owner.
I mean, I feel like he's done his job. I feel like
he's
done his job.
The owner, and I would also say lack of coaching.
No, but if you lost 3 superstars in 6 years, that means you didn't build a good enough team around him to keep him.
Right.
So he also has a lot of blame.
Yeah. I mean, on paper, honestly, this previous season, they had a really good team on paper. Having Nerlens Noel come off the bench, Dennis Schroeder off the bench.
We're dating back to what?
Pretty much they never got shooters. And
you mean now, though?
No.
Right.
We're not talking about with
they should have got more shooters for sure.
Superstars is because
Well, I feel initially they lost their team because they couldn't get over alter egos.
Well, it was
never
egos. It was money actually.
It was
paying Ibaka.
Yeah, and also
pretty much everything comes back.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Now we're rolling back.
And on top of all that, I feel like they try to rely more on defense to be their winning their recipe to win, you know what I mean? Rather than shooting and stuff like that, which is why because they were obviously relying on Roberson to come back last season.
They needed a couple of shooters.
They were relying on Roberson to come back to pair up with Paul George and Steven Adams and I can't even think of his name right now. Drawing a blank, but
defender.
Yeah. Man, I can tell you where he went to college. I can tell you everything about this guy except for his name right now currently.
Just college.
Syracuse.
Jeremy Grant?
Yes, exactly.
Oh. He's a restricted free agent.
Yes. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. But so all of them you put them all on the floor at the same time. That's really good defensive efficiency.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what they were relying on. It seemed like, and then Roberson had the setback. You know what I'm saying, on his injury, and ended up having to sit out the rest of the season. Paul George ends up getting injured in both of his shoulders. Westbrook's getting injured.
That's out of their hand.
They end up getting bad luck. What you were saying
about them not gathering shooters is extremely true, though.
Yeah, they should have.
Because they always
had a defensive two that could literally not shoot. Thabo and then to Roberson. So
that's Thabo at least could shoot a little bit better than Roberson.
That's where you can get one of those guys that's a pure shooter like Corver or something, because you have somebody that you can hide them on.
Right.
You know, I mean, not looking at it, breaking it open, right? I think that's where they lacked at. I don't know how much belief he had in his superstar. You know what I mean? Like at the time of having those guys. Forever, the biggest mess up will be Ibaka. Getting paid before Harden.
Yeah.
Because
I look at the details of the trade and where it was and where it is now, essentially. And it seems like, over time, you put all the pieces together. It's like, okay, it was a decent move for them.
For OKC?
Yeah.
If they're on the rebuild, I liked it.
Yeah.
Personally, I did, because I like Shy a lot.
Right.
I like him a lot. So if you're really gonna move, you gotta get back now. Whoever is gonna be your suitor for Westbrook, if they strike here, I like where they're headed.
Yeah.
They have to strike good though. They
have to get rid of Westbrook.
Yes, I completely agree. It's just time.
It's time.
It's been time.
They're also shopping that, so they're definitely going for tanking for a top 5 pick.
They should probably
they're going after somebody, Cole Anthony, whatever.
You think Adams is gonna get stuck?
Swimming stuck.
He's gonna just be there. He's just gonna be.
No, they're
They're shopping.
They're listening to offers from him, so they might find something.
They're just probably shopping the whole.
Everybody. Nobody's safe right now.
That's good.
Think about how much money Horford's making. Somebody could still take Adams for 25, like a different team.
They definitely made themselves a lottery team after Paul George came out. It might be close. With Russell, it might be close.
Even if Russell stays the whole year, they're not making playoffs. That's a playoff team.
Yeah, because
take
it's
it off
8.
right away.
Yeah. Wow, that changes the dynamic.
It does, definitely. So what do you guys think that... Okay, so if you are another team in the league, would you trade for Russell?
It depends on which team I am, I think. Give me
pick a team that would trade for him.
Just because. Here, dude.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah. I think the Knicks would be a good destination as well. I
So
think they always end up, especially that we watched them the other day.
Facts.
They have pieces.
Yeah.
They really do. After watching, I had to become a believer to watch that game and seeing all that they do have with RJ Barrett. I like his position, with Mitchell.
He had a
Trier.
I didn't even realize how bad he shot.
Trier looked great. But
Mitchell looked great.
If I'm a team on the cusp, and it would be fun to watch Miami get a hold of him. Because him and Jimmy would just, I guess, I could imagine those practices as well.
Right.
But I think that like a team like the Rockets need to make a push for it. I don't know how. I really don't. I don't understand how. Because I would never understand a trade where they would take back maybe like Capella or something like that. But where I do understand a trade is, and it may not be the best for Chris Paul, is that he can mentor Shai going forward.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, I don't know if that's something OKC is even interested in, but if you want to mold your point guard of the future, who better than to let Chris Paul go ahead and do that? He's more a coach than anything. So, I mean, yeah, it sucks for him, but he probably shouldn't sign that big deal. So that's only one of the possibilities I could think of, because Capella, that's not intriguing. They have Steven Adams already. So why? They're trying to, I don't know how many pieces.
That's why I can't see Houston doing it.
I think it would only be for Chris Paul. As like I said, like a more mentorship for Shai more than anything.
Okay.
I would like to see that though.
Yeah.
The West is already hot right now.
Yeah, but the only winner in that to me would be Shai. If they did that, he'd be the only winner. The Rockets wouldn't be winners of that trade.
I don't think they would. It's just more.
The Thunder wouldn't be winners.
More intriguing. More intriguing for sure for playoffs consideration.
Yeah, definitely.
But I would also like to see him get out somehow to the East if that was a possibility, like you guys were saying, the Knicks, because I think Russell's played in the hard West his entire life, and he hasn't really. Granted, he hasn't been amazing at times.
Can't get past the first round.
Right.
You might be able
without
to sign
KD
after. Something about Russell's at least.
Right. So I don't know who or what team it is in the East, but I would love to see him play for Chicago, obviously.
And because of his contract, like OKC can't really expect a lot.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
Like a move they can make.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it'll probably be backloaded with something like picks, I would guess, more than anything.
It'd have to be.
They've done Kevin Knox, whatever they can. If I was them, I'd give him whatever besides Mitchell. Mitchell would be the one I'd keep.
Yeah, because
Dennis Smith, Kevin Knox, some picks.
Could they land another free agent next year? If this was to happen?
Who?
They have money, right?
The Knicks?
Yeah, they still have money. Or they would have money.
Oh, well, I mean...
No, they'll have money in 2 years, but they sign a bunch of dudes to contracts you could possibly move.
Yeah, Taj Gibson.
2-3-year contracts.
And then I would be interested in knowing who's coming off the books in that time. You know what I mean? Like, if Russell did come, they would have RJ, Russell, Mitchell. Keep Mitchell, obviously. But, I mean, whatever you need to do to trade, I would get rid of Trier if I had to. But, I mean, I like Trier a lot.
Yeah, but the way that he's developing, he's definitely going to be a trade piece in the future.
Right, I could see it.
All right, now back to Kawhi real quick. Do you guys agree with how he went about signing with the Clippers? How he went about free agency, this entire process? Do you guys agree with it? You know what I mean?
Keeping quiet and keeping to himself, that was fine.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I'm just like gonna move, but I think he acted in bad faith, and that's not cool.
Yeah, like he was just pretty much doing whatever he could to set himself up, which is great. You know what I mean? To set yourself up.
And Windhorst came out and said that if Clippers did that trade last second, so they're saying if they never did that, he'd go to the Lakers. That's supposedly what they're saying.
So that's probably why the Lakers pre-assumed, and Anthony Davis waives his trade bonus and everything.
Yeah, but I don't believe that because he was recruiting him on Tuesday. So I felt like he told him he was just stalling to see, like, give him a shot.
I mean, I never thought in a million years. It seems more last second, but
Oh yeah, like developing like that Tuesday.
Yeah.
3 days they made it.
You know, the only story that I've been bringing up, once again, and I've been consistent with bringing it up, is that I feel like all these guys kind of have to figure out their ways. And I think, obviously, at the end of the day, it might be snaking, right?
Definitely seems like it.
Right? So I think with this, right, you guys have heard me bring up the story a lot of times. I feel like, you know, back in 2010 when I thought LeBron really did consider Chicago, it was more of a low blow then. They used their recruiting time on LeBron and Dwayne Wade at that time.
Right.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And realistically, we were a competitor. The Chicago Bulls were a competitive team.
Right.
They had Derrick Rose, so this was pretty much it. And according, I can't say if it's true or not, but according to like what the reports that they put out, they were stalling out time during that time to strategically ensure that Chicago was wasting their time. So in that span, you know, Chicago fills out guys like Carlos Boozer, like on the back end.
Right.
They give him a contract that's like 4 over 80 or something. This to me is very similar to that.
I got
very
you.
similar.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
And it is snaking.
So in a way, you're just calling it karma for LeBron.
I mean, whether it be karma, it's still snaking. That doesn't make him right for
LeBron
doing it. Snaking.
It's both.
It's
both.
You got. I would stay consistent with that. Would I expect it from Kawhi Leonard? No, I never expected.
See, I understand
like
it's karma, but at the same time, like, I don't appreciate that he did that. Like, just
well, like you said, what bugs me more than anything was the trade bonus being waived.
That's the one thing I don't think I've
anything.
come out. That's one thing I want to know. If he gave his word, like, I'll go there.
Because I don't think
pretty much makes him waive it.
Him to waive 4 M's like, in good faith.
Yeah, because you're playing with money at that point.
For him
Someone else's money.
Because he did it so fast, I have a feeling like he's like, okay, I got confirmation. Like, there's no point in me waiting.
Right.
Kind of like give.
And I mean, granted, I think he gets that money on the back end. That's a move that I would never respect. I would never respect.
That's the thing. He can make his money back. It's just like, dog, you really.
It's just
you taking $4 million off my table.
I agree. And like I said, me bringing up that story of like LeBron and D Wade wasting time doesn't justify what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like
but I understand why.
And I think that these guys consistently do. I mean, at one point, I think he had to make.
At the end of the day, it's all competition.
Right. I think he had to make a move. If the choice was the Clippers, man, that's tough. The money portion of it, I can't see past money. It's hard for me. I can't see past money. How he went about it, I like it for a competitive standpoint. But if I can get Anthony Davis his money still at the end of the day, then I'm fine with everything that happened personally because I've seen it before.
Yeah.
But the fact that he waived his trade bonus it's not good.
Right.
I don't like
okay.
that.
So what else? What do you think about how he told the Raptors team his Raptors teammates?
Texted him right before.
He was texting them as the news was breaking out, so it was simultaneous.
I think at least he gave him initiative. I don't know if he has to fly back to Toronto and tell them face to face. I don't know. Phone call maybe to Kyle Lowry or something like that. Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, you can also beat Kevin Durant.
See, no,
you know.
Oh yeah, I get you. Not saying nothing. Not saying anything at all.
You know, he kind of told Russell he was coming back, and you know they said that he dipped out on the report after he went to the Hamptons with them.
Yeah.
With Golden State.
Crazy.
So
crazy.
as it's weird, maybe that's how he communicates, kind of. I guess I don't really know. You know, he's a man of few words, so it seems. So.
What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe a FaceTime or a phone call, maybe, I guess.
Right. No, well, I would have done. They obviously, once they got the trade to be approved, they automatically just announced it. They could have easily just waited till the morning and he just text him, have a whole convo.
Right.
Appreciated all that. Just let you know.
I agree with that.
Coming out tomorrow.
I agree with that.
And this is what happens, and then give him his thank yous and all that.
It's like a bad breakup.
Yeah. Okay.
If you text on a breakup,
at least like that, at somewhere. Like,
if you're texting on a breakup, that's I kind of question you as man.
Yeah,
maybe.
I get you.
Or a person. Because, like, honestly, I think they deserve now that we're talking about it, I didn't really think about this until now, but I think they deserve the due diligence for him to at least have a conversation with Masai or somebody to say he appreciates what they did for him because
they offer that man the world.
First of all, they won the ship. They took care of his body.
Still the franchise's best move they ever did, no matter even if it's only 1 year.
Right, but they took care of his body all year. They made sure he was okay.
They did everything.
They got guys like Marc Gasol brought in for depth,
right.
and it worked. They did the greatest job they could possibly do, and to credit what you were stating about the trade kind of being like a fake thing, more or less. The more I read into it, the more I feel like it was, because that's what we can talk about on the back end, was the fact that the Raptors, they state that the Raptors were offered Westbrook and PG for Siakam and like 4 or 5 first-round picks.
And for VanVleet.
it
So,
was both of them?
Yeah.
Thought so.
Yeah, so I mean, with that, I believe also, not to mention that if it was fake, even if it was real, I was hearing that Masai had to be fully 100% confident that Kawhi Leonard would be resigning, which he wasn't. He wasn't confident about that. And why would you bring OKC to Toronto?
Right.
You know who your guy is. That's all he wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
Kawhi. So he said that he felt like they did every single thing that they needed to do, which
they
I agree they did.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future, did they have as many options as the Lakers or the Clippers did? No, they didn't.
No, not at all.
But I can only really say for the Lakers' sake, actually, because the Clippers, for the foreseeable future, until they got Paul George, to me personally, how many options did they really have?
Yeah.
Think about it. Patrick Beverley's getting older. Lou Will is getting older. The biggest piece to me out of all this
might
was
leave
Anthony Davis being 26.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is for the foreseeable future, you know. So, Masai, I think he laid back and he said, if you want to sign here, you could sign here, and that's all there is to it.
He just had sent, and I'm pretty sure he's like, if Kawhi hasn't given me his blessing, why would I do this?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah,
exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then we were talking about it yesterday. I couldn't even figure out the money on that. How does that work? Because they're all running on high money.
Right.
So how is Kawhi going to resign if they got them 2 contracts on the books?
It wouldn't make no sense at all.
That doesn't make sense. So
you can't get both of them in both those
maybe
contracts.
just
because
Paul
doesn't
George
Russ have a
would've made
supermax?
sense. Paul George would have made sense, maybe.
Yeah,
like just
one of them would have made sense cap room wise. But I'm pretty sure if they really wanted to, Ujiri, he's known for finding ways. Apparently,
maybe, I don't know. It just didn't seem right to me. Both of those guys are on.
I wouldn't have done it.
So.
I wouldn't have done it. I would not have brought 2 superstars from a different team and just made them my own. You know what I mean?
That's like,
especially after seeing how they play together, how inconsistent their play is together. And
a crazy story, man. I would wonder how that would have worked out.
It would be just in a way. It's like how some people are calling the New Orleans Lakers,
right.
or you have the Los Angeles Pelicans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be just like that if they brought them over there. And I would not want OKC's sloppy seconds.
You only think that Russell Westbrook can mess something up.
They're already
though.
better. The Raptors are better.
I think that's the biggest thing about it. You only think that Russell Westbrook can mess something up that's good. That's how I think of him a lot of the times. You know, there's just a nice shiny toy over there, and Russell's gonna mess it up.
Ends up being a Chucky doll.
Yeah, somehow Russell's gonna mess it up. But it would have been interesting. But that, like you said, I don't think there was too much truth to that.
Yeah.
Because that's when my jaw dropped. I said Siakam in 5 picks. What the hell are we waiting on?
Right.
I'm pretty sure since that was like the first offer, they were like,
probably weirded out.
They were like, this is like a
2K
video
trade.
game
Yeah,
offer.
it's
Like,
a
this is like a
2K
little
trade.
kid offered me this. Why are they offering me this?
Right.
Very sus.
Turns out Ujiri rather rebuild around Pascal and
I'm fine
And
with how he
also,
handled
all the people are pretty much coming back. Only have 1 year left, so make sure they're.
And not to mention, I feel like throughout this whole process of them winning, more or less, to credit them for the fact that they're a great place in Canada, and I think that hopefully, it attracts upcoming free agents, etc., because of what took place. So I think a lot of athletes and a lot of basketball players were able to see how the city of Toronto embraces its guys,
right?
And they did the most for them. So hats off to their fans, hats off to the Raptors organization, because I think they did everything they possibly could have did to keep Kawhi Leonard.
I agree. Yeah. Okay. And one more thing about Kawhi's recruiting skills. What do y'all think that he said to Paul George to make him agree?
You didn't have to say much, I don't think.
Come home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally. Because I think the whole time, and like Juan was saying, it was reported that he had buyer's remorse after coming back to OKC. He still had LA on his mind, one way or another.
It's crazy how he had buyer's remorse and he had the best season of his career despite the injuries to his shoulders.
But I think it only goes so far when it doesn't correlate to winning, you know?
Well, injuries.
But I mean, like, if...
I feel like they would have had a better shot if they were 100% healthy.
Maybe, but, like, where do you think it goes past that? Like, you know, them in Houston, like, I think Houston could have beat them last year, you know? Like,
I agree.
So, like, it's just... He's probably really looking at it like, I'll be damned. And especially coming into this year, bro, like... We're already setting up to know that the Lakers were going to beat OKC if it had to come down to that. You know what I mean? So he looked at it, and in reality, I think, yes, he's now making the correct decision, but he could have made this decision
last season.
Yeah, and he could have been with Paul, AD,
with
and LeBron, essentially.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and granted, you know, it might go different because the Lakers would have been better last year if they had Paul George. They definitely would have been better. So, like, with the kids, too. So, it might have been a lot different, but even if it wasn't different, what if it was LeBron, PG, and AD right now? He would have been happy as hell.
Right.
And he just made this decision, I think, due to maybe pressure. I can't really...
He definitely felt the pressure of keeping the people of OKC happy because of how much love they were showing. Which is crazy to me. Don't ever...
Smart man.
Quick life lesson for y'all. Don't ever make a decision based off someone else's feelings.
Yeah,
I agree.
Base it off yourself.
Yeah, because clearly, I mean, and that's the type of stuff that LeBron forever talked about was like making the decision that's best for you.
Right.
And now look at, you know, granted, he could be happy now with the Clippers, but deep down in, who knows if he wants to be a Laker? Let's be real.
Yeah.
That might be the truth. He's a Laker fan his whole life,
had
right?
enough evidence to believe he wanted to be a Laker.
Right.
Bad.
So it's like maybe, you know, deep down in, he's like, damn, this is dope. I get to play in LA again with the Clippers though, but maybe he really still wanted to be a Laker. I think now
he can be a stepchild. It's cool.
I want them more than anything just to rewrite history. They gotta.
Yeah.
And I don't. If Kawhi Leonard could win,
honestly, if they win if they win as Clippers,
Kawhi Leonard.
I don't even know what to do. You know
Kawhi
what I mean?
Leonard's
I would be
the GOAT.
so flustered. I'd be
Leonard's
like, wow. Honestly, Kawhi would automatically be in talks for GOAT.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, it's with such minimal statistic.
Right.
But it's like, it's kind of tough, right?
Right. But it's just the circumstances of everything, you know, to win. I mean, obviously, when he won with the Spurs, he won with the well-built team, and he wasn't even the first option on that team. But to go into Toronto 1 year, boom, win. To come to LA on the stepchild's team.
How many seasons are they in? Like 48 seasons or something like that. They ain't won one. They ain't made it. Like they ain't did much.
So never got past second round.
Look, so I think obviously what we're all looking forward to, regardless. I think unless like Russell Westbrook gets traded to Houston, like I said, I still want to see 7 games in Staples in the Western Conference Finals early.
That would be crazy.
It wouldn't even. And I don't see
every
why
game's
not.
a home game for both teams.
I can't even see why not.
There's no home game for Clippers.
Yeah, I think the Lakers definitely would show out, but you're gonna see a lot more Clippers fans start popping out of the woodwork.
Yeah,
now,
just
for,
like
you know,
City, everybody,
like, always, bro. So
definitely,
you know, you'll see them pop out a little bit, but
LA's big enough where even the stepchild team has pretty solid following.
Yeah, the only thing is that Lakers fans will buy their tickets before Clippers fans can.
Are they ever gonna? Is it ever a conversation for them to break off and get their own stadium and or relocate?
They're trying to get one in Inglewood.
Yeah, because they need to get that together because it's just not fair. Really.
I think they might be already building or about to start building or something.
Really?
Like that, yeah. I can't remember. I gotta search it out.
I wonder if that has anything to do. New stadium? That's interesting for them.
Arena.
Absolutely. All right, and you know, since we're talking about the Lakers and Clippers, let's get into Lakers executing Plan B. So obviously their Plan A was to grab Kawhi. We all know how that turned out.
Honestly, it was probably Plan A, B,
and C.
Okay.
So Lakers are executing Plan Z currently. They had just re-signed KCP, Rajon Rondo, Caruso, JaVale McGee, and they ended up signing DeMarcus Cousins, Danny Green, Jared Dudley, Troy Daniels, and Quinn Cook so far. Did I miss anybody?
One more.
Yeah,
they
need one more wing, I think. One more wing.
Who do y'all think that win's gonna be?
I have no idea.
They're gonna hold it off for Iggy. I hope he gets bought out.
That would be complete last piece to the puzzle. I think a lot of people are panicking right now.
Yeah.
When I personally look at the roster, I knew it was going to come to this if it didn't happen, right?
Right.
I was telling y'all in the coming weeks it's Kawhi or bust.
Yeah.
But it's not really bust how they picked up on the back end, I think, personally.
Luckily,
we were talking about this.
Luckily, Danny Green was like, I'll be the consolation
Right.
prize. And
Yeah.
kinda like, okay, well, we got him at least.
Right.
And granted, in this conversation me and Juan were having yesterday, that Boogie just played, he kind of played all the kinks out and he kind of started getting his feet under him. If anything, this is the best contract possible for 3.5.
That's what I was saying. I think it's going to end up being one of the best contracts in the league next
Raj.
season.
Right.
I can
Especially because he has a
guarantee it.
full offseason to actually
That-
get his lower
that
body
and
stronger.
It's 2 years away. Usually, they always say 2 years is usually when you start getting back to being close to.
And I think a lot of people are kind of downplaying the morale that Anthony Davis and Boogie already have.
And Anthony Davis wanted him. I'm pretty sure that's why he made him commit fast. He was like, "Dude, come play with me."
Yeah,
That's exactly why he chose the Lakers over the Heat.
And that's when Boogie played his best, when he played next to AD.
Yeah. So
That's
I mean,
when he's at his best. So
far as how they recouped off of this, I wouldn't. I personally think they did a great job. They have a lot of shooters.
Luckily, a bunch of shooters.
Good shooters.
Danny
too.
Green.
I love
all
Quinn
of
Cook. I really do.
Troy
I
Daniels.
love Quinn Cook.
Quinn Cook.
Quinn Cook. I think is gonna be huge.
Caruso, good.
And Boogie can stretch the floor. AD can stretch the floor. There's not
and Jared
too many
KCP after working with Lethal Shooter, which he's working with them off
right,
season,
and he improved all year.
Caught
So
fire.
I think that there's not too many guys that can't shoot on the
Jared
roster.
Dudley too. Sorry.
Jared Dudley.
Yeah, especially against Ben Simmons, he's strapping it up.
I would even take Caruso. Caruso can shoot open, right? For sure.
Yeah,
so it's
Caruso's
like,
good.
I think Rondo is like literally the only exception to say that.
Rondo's pretty much.
I think he's the only guy that you could say, leave him alone. But
his shooting has improved over the years.
I mean, I know his story already, but he'll be able to get it to those shooters. I think that's the most important part, right? And you're gonna be able to, get LeBron rest, let Rondo run. Caruso could distribute the ball.
Rondo
I think
also
Iggy
played
is
very
that
well.
mystery man. Iggy is that mystery man they need. I'm not sure if Memphis is willing to. I don't know if they're on some strike, obviously. But if it's not him,
he's pissed for sure.
yeah, he's
sending subliminal messages on Twitter all the time.
He's
now.
being held hostage.
Wait, so if it's not Iggy, then who would it be? Carmelo?
Whoever they get on the buyout market.
Would it be Carmelo?
You know what, Melo?
They had their choice of getting Melo, and they still refuse to get him. So I think at this point they're not.
Yeah.
They're not looking at him.
I thought the whole Melo signing and whatnot was being delayed because they're waiting for Anthony Davis's trade to go fully through and then kind of re-kink things, rework out the kinks.
For me personally, the only reason why I think that it could potentially be a good signing. So Iggy is obviously plan A, and that fills out the roster due to the fact that he could play defense, right?
Yeah.
And Rob Pelinka will hold out.
Right. So
that's what it seems like.
So I think the reason why to me that Carmelo Anthony could be a good signing is because I don't feel like he's ever got a fair rap on the last two teams, first of all. And I think he kind of got the exempt push from the Twitter world for those things.
Right.
If you understood that those teams were trash anyway, between the Rockets and the Thunder, two worst situations you possibly could have been in, right? And I guess the other thing for me is that I think that LeBron could elevate his level of play.
Definitely.
And that's just my opinion. And you've already seen what he's capable of. I think he's worth bringing off the bench to fill up a couple of buckets.
Yeah, and at a vet's minimum, like, what do you really have to lose as far as that goes? You know what I mean?
I think he just needs a ring.
Yeah, that, and he needs to be, like, as far as his offensive game goes, he needs to be placed in the right. See, the thing about Melo is you have to place him in the right positions at this point in his game, at this point of his career. Just because of his age and whatnot, you can't really do too much. Can't do too much transition play. You know what I mean?
There's just too many guys I'd rather have over Melo.
Avery
Bradley, Vince Carter.
And I think the thing is, right?
And I would definitely take Avery Bradley.
No, I would take
first.
Avery Bradley. Yeah,
For me personally, he's actually like
Vince Carter over Melo.
the first guy.
I would not take Vince Carter over Melo because I think the biggest thing for me is that y'all need a wing that can defend too. You know what I mean?
Then Melo,
exactly.
We're arguing between them two. I'm taking Vince Carter because he's actually a really good shooter. He's like almost 40% from three.
Melo still got the strap. I don't care.
I got Melo.
You let him heat up.
I wouldn't be mad at either or because I want to see both of them get a ring, obviously. So as long as they could both be in contention, I just personally think that and obviously those are days of the past with the USA team with him and LeBron.
Right.
I've seen him play with LeBron being the facilitator, and he performed the best. I don't think that's just set to come out again. I just think that there's possibilities of it. If there wasn't a way for Iggy, I guess why not? But you gotta make sure you cover defensive lapses for Melo, and I think that's the biggest issue for me, right? Because as it sits, there's gonna be, you gotta look at like the head of matchup with Kawhi and PG.
And for as old as Vince is, he's not as bad as Melo on defense.
Yeah, so. I mean, if that's what it comes down to, though, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you gotta look at the head-to-head matchups, and if Carmelo's out there against any of those guys at the time, so hopefully at that sake I would be putting him on Montrez, but Montrez would cook him, so
that rough. That Energizer Bunny type dude would kill Melo right now.
It's just rough.
He
has to be like
too much energy for him to spend.
I mean, if Korver was an option, right? Korver can shoot the ball consistently. I think that's why that is the hard staple for him. However, I think that if everything has to go right for Carmelo Anthony, if he's to come,
at this point, it's clear. It all has to be right.
Everything has to come right.
And NBA kind of told him so, like the fact that nobody bothered just to even get him last year. Not just
and I don't know if he's blackballed or whatever it is. I would like to see it.
I don't think he's. I can't see.
I don't know, man. But I don't know, cause it's kind of weird to me.
See, I'm talking about the Lakers. I know there's somebody that could.
Anybody.
Yeah, and there's a lot of players in the league that I know for a fact. A lot of players in this league.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Know that Melo still has a lot in the tank. You know what I mean?
What about looking? Okay.
But it's the GMs and stuff. They see the media, like what they say. They obviously they talk amongst each other and whatnot. They probably have Daryl Morey saying whatever, Sam Presti saying whatever.
I don't know if it's like everything about his personal
everything
life.
that happened with Phil Jackson. Oh yeah, and his personal life is
all over the place.
Yeah, it's all over the place as well.
Now,
so it just adds on to.
He needs that to go over. But like even a team, call me crazy, but even for the longest, you could say the Warriors could have been a team, and they just lost Kevin Durant. So even if
what's funny, they always needed scoring. They always needed another scorer. So technically, yeah.
And especially right now with Klay out, why not? But I mean, then again,
why not?
I think a lot of teams think, and this is my opinion to it, is that the raps that he got from the Rockets and the Thunder was that he joined and ruined it. That's literally.
And it's not his fault.
Yeah, so it's like, to me, it's like, if you actually go ahead and take a look at those things, and that's what's happening right now. He's essentially not getting a fair shot due to the fact that he joined two good situations that only got worse when he joined.
Right, and he did whatever he possibly could to kind of like to work around the situation.
He said like I'll go off the bench. He was doing everything like okay, I'll do this, I'll do this. Like he was like I'm trying.
I'll be the third option. I'll come off the bench. He went, and then obviously after the season he said I'm not gonna come off the bench anymore. Right. But then he went to the Rockets, and what did he end up doing? Coming off the bench, and it just
that
shows
was the shortest stint ever.
Right, it just shows that as long as
that was the shortest stint.
He obviously at this point just wants an opportunity, to play. That's all he wants to do.
I think he's skilled enough to get an opportunity. I can care less what anybody says. He's skilled enough on offense to get an opportunity.
Definitely.
Now, past the point that he does sign with the team and it's still looking much of the same, he needs to get out the league.
Yeah.
If he's gonna come to a team, I need him to come prepared, winded, ready.
Third strike, you're out. Type of deal.
Yeah, like there's no excuse at this rate. Because he needs to come prepared. Like he needs to be fully in shape, fully worked out. All these little yacht trips and stuff like that, like get out of here with that. If you want to be in this league, just take it serious, buckle down, and go get your ring.
He legit needs to be Hoodie Melo.
Yeah, I mean
that's what it sounds like.
Fooled me once, like last year when I thought Carmelo Anthony is a walking bucket.
Yeah,
and he always has been, but. The gym stuff isn't gonna fool me because I know you're good. I know he could shoot, and I know he's a good player.
Definitely.
But he's got to be put in the situation. The reason why I think the Lakers, like I said, having LeBron there would be a big helper.
Right.
I think. And it's like a boom or bust. It's like a home run if you hit.
Yeah.
Now if you don't hit, bye.
Yeah.
You're taking the vet minimum.
Bottom of the ninth, y'all down.
And that's it.
Type of deal.
That's all there is to it.
Absolutely. All right. Is there anything else that we're missing?
All the signings that the Lakers had, like I said, I think everyone's in panic mode. Everyone needs to relax and chill. Yeah. They filled out a good roster.
Kind of after that second day, there was a bunch of like role player types in, but there was no real.
Yeah.
it kind of actually started slowing down.
It started fast, and a lot of the and we discussed this already. A lot of the players that were paid, the Lakers weren't going to pay them that anyway. So you know, I mean,
nothing.
What really happened? I think the biggest, and I told you before, the biggest thing to me was acquiring D'Lo.
Right.
That would have probably had happened, you know. And Golden State comes in and swoops up, and that's where I told me and when I was talking about it, I was like, Golden State's like just trying whatever they can to do to edge through the Lakers as well as time goes on. Because if that did not happen, we could still be looking at D'Lo weighing his options, and then ultimately he could have came upon that. Signing with the Lakers right after. Even if he was Plan B, I think he probably still would have signed.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
because it would have been automatic contention for a ring for him. He gets bonuses, then he gets, you know.
I think this makes it
continues his career. You know,
a little bit tougher on LeBron James to be the point guard.
Yeah.
But that's what they have the other guys there for, and that's what Rondo needs to step up this year. And that's what he's there for. He's been in the league long enough. He knows what the game is. He knows what's going on. They're gonna need.
Frank Vogel just doesn't guarantee, which I think he will. He's gonna know, because since he's a defensive coach, he's gonna notice. He's gonna focus on his defense. He's gonna look at the team and be like, "Bro, you're not even trying here. Like, there's no effort."
Yeah.
Right.
And I hope he's that vague and blunt with them.
Yeah.
I hope he's straightforward with all of them.
That's what you gotta come. You gotta get what he signed up for, but you
exactly.
gotta tell him straight up. Hey,
exactly.
bro, you can't be doing that.
That's
his first big test on the team.
Oh yeah, confronting
Rondo.
Yeah, he needs to confront everybody, and they need to take that as constructive criticism.
Politics, and he needs to kind of nip that shit at night.
All in all, they did a good job. They did what they had to do at the back end, and I don't care what no one says. Like I said, KCP was a good signing.
Overpaid, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for what he does and for what he improved in the end of the year.
All the backup shooting guards, he's probably one of the better ones.
Yeah,
really
for sure. For sure.
I'm over him chucking air balls.
job not done, like Kobe said.
And he's not closing no more because they have Danny Green, so it's kind of better. That was the bad part. He was closing.
Oh yeah, Danny Green's a hell of a pickup, dog. I don't know if there's any.
All the defensive metrics rated him out as the best guard, best defender at the shooting guard.
Danny Green.
Yeah, but he grades out better than all of them. He graded out as the best.
Really?
His three graded out like
what?
Crazy too. Yeah,
that's news.
He shot 45% from three.
That's huge. I didn't know that. I never knew that. But I don't.
He had a season.
Let me ask you guys this question: do you think that? Okay, we're not. Let's go. Despite Ray Allen, do you think that he's ever had LeBron James has ever had a catch and shoot teammate this good? Besides, we're gonna remove Ray Allen if you guys, because I mean, obviously, right?
But Ray Allen was kind of
on his tail end,
mostly just shooting.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't too bad at defense.
Do you remember a better teammate than Danny Green though as a catch and shooter? We can date back to Cleveland, both times.
I mean, Korver was a better shooter, but he wasn't no defender.
Eddie House? No, I'm just kidding. No.
Bo Williams.
Quick little troll, because honestly I can't think of nobody.
I don't think so. No.
It's a good.
I think JR's like one of his better ones. Yeah. So that tells you he doesn't have a lot.
They did a great job, dude. Honestly, and it's gonna be really, really interesting between them, and the Clippers, for sure, and the other teams. Obviously, I'm not gonna put the other teams
West
down.
Playoffs is gonna be an option next year. They're all gonna be good. Instead of being they're all like underperforming, which is why they're all close in standings. Remember how they're all within like 2-3 games of each other?
Yeah.
Next year will be because they're all super good instead of disappointing.
Right. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Trey, you got anything else to say before we?
Like I said, the most craziest NBA transaction.
Bombshell.
Yeah, I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
But closing, I'm happy. And it's not due to the fact that I want to see Laker fans suffer. It's just due to the fact that I want a competitive league. That's all, honestly, So it's no disrespect to any Laker fans out there, but I said it on my Instagram yesterday. I think that this kind of it's gonna help the narrative for LeBron James if he defeats these guys and all these guys, right?
Right.
Which I agree with.
Yeah, he's looking to be the GOAT. He really is. And I'm gonna be real with you. Had Kawhi joined and y'all, the Lakers won chips. Okay, cool, but that's trash, bro. That's trash. And the harsh reality of it is, those ships hold weight for the fans, and they could hold weight in his heart, but in reality, those would have had asterisks by him. and that's the truth of it. So I feel personally that this is the best case scenario, and I'm extremely happy to see if he's able to go ahead and beat them. How many, what are you gonna be able to say?
Nada, damn nada.
So I look for him to, kind of push for maybe at the tail end of his career, if he can squeeze out 2 rings in the midst of all this mess, it would be amazing.
And that's what happened. Like with the Warriors splitting up and all that, it ended up becoming a chance where he realistically can get 2.
Exactly. So, it's going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to the battles in Staples. Because like I said, on the other end, I think Kawhi is like the one guy that's kind of like low-key kryptonite. But on their end, who do they have for Anthony Davis is my question. So it's going to be interesting, man. It really is.
Definitely. Juan, what you got?
I'm ready. All you want to be Clipper fans, dude. Dollar Tree Khaled on Twitter.
Go
Hit
find him.
Find me.
Hit his line.
Because I'm talking noise.
He's
anybody,
man.
actually. I'm talking to anybody. It's over, dog.
Generally, huh?
Yeah, it's a wrap.
I mean, LeBron James and Anthony Davis still do play for the Lakers, despite all this, chaos.
Also, real quick, you see the shirts? Hit me up. Hoop Fanatic Pod. That's our IG and Twitter.
Trey left his in the washer.
Rough day, rough night, I clearly didn't get the
Hit
memo.
us up. Slide in our DMs and we'll.
Whoa,
20 bucks. 20 bucks.
Slide in my
Big
DMs,
facts.
Chief.
Also, huge shout out to everyone that entered our raffle.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to all you guys.
For those 2 free Summer League tickets. Shout out to Steph who ended up winning it.
Yeah. Hope you're having fun today.
Yeah, she's actually going there today.
And these are real things, people. So if you'd like to join and partake and to get into some of these things,
Follow
definitely
us and then we'll have more raffles.
Exactly.
The more followers, more raffles.
rock with us. And we going up.
We on the way.
Baby.
All right. So, if you guys liked what you seen, heard, all that, go ahead, hit the subscribe, hit the like, leave a comment, ring the bell, do all that.
Hit that button. It's like right
You know what I mean?
there. Right there.
And like every wise shooting coach would say, don't hesitate. Just do it.
Okay. It wasn't so bad. I thought that was going to be bad. It wasn't
Holla
that
if
bad.
you feel me.
You got no faith in me, man. All right. Well, see you guys later. We'll see y'all next week for episode 144.